Okay, turn it off. That's all we can afford.
What's going on, you guys? Steve here, and today I have an interesting one for you. So today I want to show off one of my holy grails. This is my Dreamcast twin stick. I'm really stoked on this because Virtual On is one of my favorite games, and this is the actual dedicated controller to play that game. I'm sure someone in the comments is going to have a heart attack because people love arguing with me about which controllers they should use for which games. I don't care. You can use whatever you want, but this was built specifically for Virtual On. Cry harder. Yeah, I just want to show this off because I feel like there's not too much information on this. This is actually one of the rarest peripherals or units that was made for the Sega Dreamcast. Dare I say one of the rarest units or controllers ever made. Again, the comments will have a field day with that one. I'm not going back and forth with you guys today. So this unit was actually a Japanese exclusive, and it was made by Sega for the Sega Dreamcast. This is not third party. This is not some random aftermarket thing. This was made by them for them. Very similar to the Green Goblin controller, which I've covered before. Honestly, if you've seen any of my videos, you've definitely seen this before because I play a bunch of VO. I play a bunch of Virtual On. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and that's why I got this. I guess I can start with the build. So the Dreamcast twin stick, it looks massive. It is massive, I guess, but there's not too much going on. It's actually surprisingly light. It's maybe 2 pounds, and most of the weight is because of this bottom metal plate. Very similar to the Green Goblin as well. It's completely empty except for a small PCB that connects to one VMU slot and the joysticks right here that have the micro switches and, you know, whatever. Outside of that, there's nothing inside. It's completely empty. It has 6 buttons on it, but there's only 4 buttons that you can actually use in game. Each joystick has 2 buttons. It has the trigger, and then it also has this top button right here. What's so quirky about this unit is it has this massive start button dead center, but it also has a pause button, which isn't anywhere to be found on a Dreamcast controller, on the standard controller. So yeah, for a few games, especially in VO, you have to pause using this small button up here, which is kind of strange, and then you get back into the game by either pressing start or this right trigger. I'm not really sure why they did that. It's very weird because, again, on the standard controller, it doesn't have dedicated buttons for stop and start. It's kind of annoying because this pause button is really small and it's blocked by this right joystick, so I can't even see it. But yeah, that's a thing. These buttons are really interesting because they have a bunch of travel time. It's not very satisfying, if I'm going to be completely honest. The triggers, they travel, I want to say maybe 1/3 of an inch before you actually hit the micro switch. And these buttons on top have really big membranes inside, so they also have a little travel time. Not as much as the triggers, but still you got to press them down a bit before you actually get some type of input. This is something I do, but I wasn't mindful of it until I'm saying it right now. But when I'm playing games like VO, I have to be mindful of clicking the trigger a little before I hit these top turbo buttons. Because if there's an input that requires both, then you have to click the trigger a little before you press the top one. Otherwise, it's not going to come out properly. That's kind of annoying, but that is something to be mindful of. That's the basic gist of the controller itself. I mean, again, it does have this VMU slot, so you can pop this in or out. It only has one, so there's no vibration on this. Nothing is going to happen if you add anything other than a VMU. Again, this is a Japanese exclusive, but what's strange is it's supported by many games in different regions. I use this with the American version of Virtual On Oratorio Tangram, and it plays fine. It's supported. Even in the menus, in the controller configuration, it shows an image of this in the US version of the game. So that indicates to me that clearly they intended to ship this to the US, but I mean, the Dreamcast kind of fell off around the time this dropped, so that didn't happen. It's kind of a trip to think about because if the Dreamcast survived a little longer, or even if it never died to begin with, who knows what we could have got in America or in other regions. Something else to note is that I've popped this open before. It's pretty easy. There's just a couple screws on the bottom, and then you have to take 3 of these screws off of the actual joystick handles. Inside of the unit, it has these proprietary joystick PCBs, like your Sanwa JLFs. It's not a Sanwa JLF though. That's actually why I'm bringing this up, because I've done the Focus Attack mod for my Green Goblin. I made a video on that. I'll link that one below. And I was able to mix and match the different PCBs for Sanwa JLFs because they lined up and they match with the screw holes. In this one, you cannot do that mod. You can't change the gate. You can't change the micro switches. None of that stuff is going to fit on here. So yeah, hopefully in the future, somebody makes an adjustment or somebody makes a mod for some new housing or something where you can actually fit new parts in. But yeah, at the moment, you can't replace any of the stuff inside. I have seen people that have made 3D prints of all of the handle components and different things up here, but inside of the unit, yeah, it doesn't appear at the time of recording anyways that there's any modding options. So if you break your micro switches or something, that's it. These joystick handles have actually been used for a couple different control panels for arcade machines that Sega made over the years. They use this obviously for Virtual On. They use these for the Star Wars Trilogy arcade machine, and they also use these for Outrigger, which we've covered recently. These handles have been repurposed before. They have this very clicky, satisfying tactile movement, just like a regular arcade joystick. I mean, I got an arcade machine right here. It's same exact thing. It has 1-pound springs in them. That's really about it. This is one of those Japanese exclusive controllers, and it's just really fun. It's really cool. I love playing VO and some other games with this. The list of games that support this surprisingly long, especially for US games. They don't mention they're supporting this on the back of the cases, but there's a decent amount of games where if you plug this in, you can just use it. Really cool, rare gem. I'm stoked on this. Yeah, it exists.